Nordson Corporation is proud to continue to invest in educational opportunities through our sponsorship of Academic Challenge. Nordson is a global leader in precision technology solutions with a long and proud history of giving back to the communities where we live and work. To date, Nordson and the Nordson Corporation Foundation have donated nearly $173 million to charities, awarded $7.5 million in scholarships, and our employees have logged more than 117,000 volunteer hours. Thank you for watching Academic Challenge. Best of luck to all the participants.
Let's go this morning, teams from
Brush, Midview, Revere
are here for the Nordson Academic Challenge! Oh, what a good crowd. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Nordson Academic Challenge. I'm your host, Rob Powers. Thanks so much for being with us. Here's the challenge for the next 30 minutes. Our teams will be tested on their knowledge of subjects like math, science, history, a few others as well. One more time, let's hear it for our schools, Brush, Midview, and Revere. The winner today will be the team with the highest point total at the end of our 5 rounds. Here is the leaderboard right now. Those 60 schools that will appear this season, all hoping they can score enough points to make it onto this leaderboard. 3 highest scoring teams will be back to play in our 57th Nordson Academic Challenge Championship game. The winner of that match wins for their school a share of $20,000 in grant money provided by our friends at Nordson. All right, let's get going. We start every Saturday morning with the lightning round. All 3 teams compete in this round. I ask 10 questions. They have a common theme. We award 20 points for a correct answer. We take away 20 points for an incorrect or no answer. Let's give them some points. 100 for free. Everybody ready? Nighttime will be the right time if you answer these questions correctly. They are all about night and things related to night. Got it? Here we go. A 2-word term links night with this wise bird to refer to people who stay up late at night. Revere.
Night owl.
Owl is correct, yes. The midnight judges were appointed by this second U.S. Revere.
Adams.
That is correct. This trilogy of movies starred Ben Stiller. Midview.
Night at the Museum.
That is correct. Horatio says goodnight, sweet prince in this Shakespeare drama. Midview.
Hamlet.
That is correct. You meet the queen of the night in this Mozart opera. Revere.
Magic flute.
That is correct. Once upon a midnight dreary is the opening line of this poem by Poe. Midview.
The Raven.
That is correct. At midnight, this fairy tale girl's coach turns into a pumpkin. Brush.
Cinderella.
Cinderella is correct. The book Night was written by this novel. Brush.
Elie Wiesel.
That is correct. The Starry Night is a famous painting by this.
Van Gogh.
That is correct. For our final lightning round question, please welcome the president of Cuyahoga Community College's West Shore campus. It's Dr. Scott Lagelet.
Working long hours to accomplish a mission is not unusual. But what patriot made a midnight ride in 1775 to warn colonists that the British are coming?
Brush.
Paul Revere.
That is correct, and that's the end of that round. Good job, everybody. We're off and running. Don't go anywhere. More of the Academic Challenge is coming up right after this. All right, here we go. Welcome back to the Nordson Academic Challenge. If you'd like any information about any one of the schools that appear this season, scan the QR code you see in the upper right-hand corner of your screen with your cell phone. That code takes you to the news5cleveland.com Academic Challenge page. We have links for every school on that website right there. Time for us to play Hot Picks. Let's get going. One at a time, I ask each team 8 questions selected by the captain of another team. A correct answer here is worth 20 points. There's no penalty for a wrong answer. Any team answering all 8 questions correctly receives 25 bonus points. Before we get to the questions, let's meet our players. Let's start with Charles F. Brush. Let's start with William, the captain.
Hi, my name is William. I'm an Eagle Scout, and I run varsity cross country.
Good for you. Welcome this morning. Hi, Julius.
Hi, my name is Julius Kappenhaken. I'm a junior in high school, and I'm on the varsity bowling team.
Good for you. Welcome this morning. Lucy, you are up.
Hi, my name's Lucy. I'm a senior at Brush High School, and I'm in NHS.
Good for you. Welcome, Brush, this morning. For your questions, we go to Percy, the captain of Midview. 1, 2, 3, or 4?
4.
You got it. All right. Brush, these are all for you. All set? Here we go. Calling George Washington a missionary of liberty, Lafayette sent him the key to what Paris prison stormed by a mob July 14th, 1789?
The Bastille.
That is correct. Mushrooms, which are short and close to the ground, are the favorite food of what short Tolkien characters such as Frodo and Sam Gamgee?
Hobbits.
That is correct. When Rutherford B. Hayes removed federal troops from the South, he ended what 12-year period that followed the Civil War?
The Reformation.
Reconstruction. Sorry, let's go to the monitor. Here's your science question. Which of these refers to the process by which plant cells, using chlorophyll and light energy, combine carbon dioxide and water to form glucose?
Photosynthesis.
That is correct. Super smart gorillas prove a frightening enemy in a Michael Crichton novel that shares what name with the second longest African river? Answer?
The Nile.
Congo. Congo's the answer. Today, he would no doubt use a computer, but what 20th century author of The Grapes of Wrath instead used 300 pencils to write the novel East of Eden? Answer? Is Steinbeck. Steinbeck. Let's go back to the monitor. Here's your math question. Solve for x, giving your answer as a positive integer. Answer?
2.
2 is correct. Students at one Florida community college attend a school named for what Florida Indian tribe, one of whose leaders was Osceola? Answer?
Seminole.
Seminole is correct. The Florida Seminoles. Nice round, Brush. Good job. All right. Our second team today comes to us from Grafton, Midview. Percy, you're the captain. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Percy. I'm a senior, and I'm an ASL club and academic quiz team.
Welcome this morning. Great to have you. Carter, you are up.
Hello, my name's Carter Evans. I am a junior at Midview High School, and I'm in Student Council and Skills USA.
Good for you. And we finish up with Logan.
I'm Logan Johnson. I am a senior, and I am in Air Force JROTC, and this is my first year in academic quiz team.
Yay! All right, good for you. For your questions, Midview, we go to Caden, the captain from Revere. Caden, 1, 2, or 3?
3.
You got it. All right, Midview, these are all for you. All set? Here we go. Political cartoonists admire the famous colonial drawing showing what disjointed reptile with the caption, "Join or die"?
Snake.
That is correct. Memorial Day means an auto race in Indianapolis, but Patriots Day brings what 26-mile foot race to Boston?
Boston Marathon.
That is correct. If Chief Crazy Horse were to return today, he'd find Hungry Horse Dam on the Flathead River in what state, whose capital is Helena? Answer is Montana. Montana. Let's go to the monitor. That's all right. Let's get to your science question here. Which of these compounds, made from the same elements as water, is used as a mild bleach and antiseptic?
Hydrogen peroxide.
Yes, it is. Children still throw snowballs, but not with the impact of those thrown in 1770, when a snowball fight triggered what bloody Boston event?
The Boston Massacre.
That is correct. A small town in Russia was the birthplace of what American author, whose many works include I, Robot? Answer is Isaac Asimov. Let's go back to the monitor. Here's your math question. How many degrees are included in angle X?
120.
150. 150. The Emancipation Proclamation was issued in 1863, but it wasn't until after Lincoln's death that what number constitutional amendment outlawing slavery was ratified?
13th.
That is correct. Nice round, Midview. We got a good game going here. We got a good game. Let's keep it up with Revere. Let's hear from Caden, the Captain Caden. Got a nice ring to it.
Hello, I'm Caden Jones. I'm a junior. I'm an Eagle Scout, and I run cross country and track.
Good to have you here this morning. Eli.
Hi, I'm Eli Brackett. I'm a junior, and I'm a leader of both Spanish Club and French Club.
Oui. That's it. That's all I got.
Si.
Nice to have you this morning. Max, you're up.
I'm Max Braun. I'm a senior. I'm president of Mod United Nations in Montreal.
All right, all 9 of you, thank you so much for coming today. It's so great to have you. For your questions, Revere, we come back to the brush captain, William. William, 1 or 2?
2.
You got it. 1 is the loneliest number. All right, this is all for you, Revere. Ready? There's an anchor on the flag of what New England state where legislative ideas are floated in the Capitol at Providence?
Rhode Island.
That is correct. In 1903, in a boat pulled by a kite, a man named Cody crossed what body of water separating Britain from France?
English Channel.
That is correct. Because he was on the losing side of the war with the Greek gods, what mythical titan was condemned to hold the heavens on his shoulders forever?
Atlas.
That is correct. We go to the monitor. Here's your science question. In the periodic table, most of the non-metals are found in which of these places?
The upper right side.
That is correct. The phrase, the angel of the battlefield, was used to describe what Civil War nurse who later founded the American Red Cross?
Clara Barton.
That is correct. The Earth is demolished to make way for an interplanetary bypass, according to the Hitchhiker's Guide to what entity?
Galaxy.
That is correct. Let's go back to the monitor. Here's your math question. Which of these numbers is evenly divisible by 3?
2,313.
That is correct. That was big. This is for the bonus points. Americans have a lively faith in the perfectibility of man, wrote what 19th century French observer in his book Democracy in America?
Tocqueville.
Tocqueville's correct for the bonus points. We'll be back with more academic excitement right after this.
Lean happy.
Hey, look who's here. It's our guest judge from our partners at Cuyahoga Community College. It's Daniel Safko, the campus director of Admissions Enrollment Services. Daniel, thanks for being here, man. It's great to see you. And we welcome you back to the Nordson Academic Challenge. Before we kick off the next round, let's take a look at our scores as we have them right now. It's a good game. Third place, 260 points, Grafton Midview. 280 points for Brush. Leading the way, 345 points. It is Revere. Time for us to play Picture Perfect. All 3 teams compete in this round. I asked 8 questions. They all have some kind of visual element. For every correct answer, we award 20 points, but for a wrong or no answer, we take away 20 points. So, hands on your buzzers, eyes on the big monitor down front. All set? Here we go. These hibiscus flowers grow year-round near what capital of the Bahamas? Revere. Is Nassau. It's Nassau. This gold coin dates back to what ancient North African city-state allegedly founded by Dido? Revere.
Carthage.
That is correct. Some animals don't mind the arid conditions in the Atacama Desert in what long, narrow Revere?
Chile.
That is correct. What is the slope of the line whose equation is shown here? Brush.
-2.
0. 0 is the answer. On a visit to the U.S. Supreme Court, you can see this Rembrandt Peale painting of what 4th Chief Justice? Revere.
Marshall.
John Marshall is correct. To help NASA study the effect of space on human beings, the International Space Station is now home to flies with what F initial name? Revere.
Fruit.
Fruit flies is correct. Artist Paul Signac titled this 19th century painting with what day of the week named for a yellow dwarf star? Revere.
Sunday.
Sunday is correct. It's time for another history lesson here, courtesy of our friends at Cleveland Magazine. The first American pizza shop opened in 1905 in which East Coast city, where many Italian immigrants passed their way through Ellis Island? Revere.
New York.
New York City is correct, and that is the end of that round. We are rolling. Don't go anywhere. We mix it up right after this. Welcome back to the Nordson Academic Challenge. We get to meet our advisors now. From Charles F. Brush, it's Peter Engel. From Grafton Midview, Jessica Dembeck is here. And from Revere, Jeff Fry, Jeff Shane. Thank you, all 4 of you, for being here today. Great to see you. Time for us now to mix it up. One at a time, I ask each team 6 questions. A correct response here worth 20 points. No penalty for a wrong answer. If a team answers all 6 questions correctly, you get 25 bonus points. All ready? Brush, you are up first. You can best describe clams and oysters by choosing what word from each column?
Bivalve mollusks.
That is correct. This might have been a text from the mythical Arachne, who was turned into what web-spinning arachnid by Minerva?
Spider.
That is correct. Place what same word in the blanks here. You will name 2 early American frontier outposts in Pennsylvania.
Fort.
That is correct. Turn off your cell phones and rearrange these letters to name what gaseous element that makes up most of the air we breathe.
Nitrogen.
That is correct. Which one of these women is the storyteller in the Arabian Nights? Answer?
Nefertiti.
Scheherazade, sorry. These words title a book about one amateur's experience in what stargazing science whose professionals included William Herschel.
Astronomy.
That is correct. Nice round, Brush. Good job. Good job. All righty. That gets us to Grafton Midview. You are up. These are all for you. Ready to roll? Here we go. Take one word from each column here to get the title of what award-winning Chuck Palahniuk novel, described by one reviewer as brilliantly creepy.
Fight Club?
That is correct. Back in mythical times, this might have been an internet address for what woman who opened a box and let out all the world's troubles?
Pandora.
That is correct. Fill in the blanks here with what same word you can complete titles by African-American writer John Weidman and Russian author Dostoevsky.
Time.
Brothers. By rearranging these letters, you will name what chemical compound, CH4, the main component of natural gas?
Methane.
That is correct. Which of these is the title of Rachel Carson's landmark book about the environment?
The Coming Winter.
Silent Spring, is that? Archaeologist Howard Carter gave this awestruck answer when he first gazed into the tomb of what Egyptian boy king who had died about 1358 BC?
King Tut.
King Tut, correct. There you go. Nice round. Grafton Midview. And that brings us to Revere. You are up. Ready to roll? Here we go. Choose one word from each column here to get what line of zero longitude that runs through Greenwich, England.
Prime Meridian.
That is correct. This might have been a website for what legendary Greek who was invulnerable everywhere except his heel?
Achilles.
That is correct. Fill in the blanks here with what same ferric metal to get the nicknames for the 19th century Duke of Wellington and for early trains and railroads?
Iron.
That is correct. Rearrange the letters in this anagram to get what group of elements that includes fluorine and chlorine?
Halogens.
That is correct. William Gibson introduced us to the word cyberspace in which 1980 sci-fi thriller?
Neuromancer.
That is correct. That was big. This is for the bonus points. These are the words of what current Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court?
Roberts.
John Roberts is correct for the bonus points. Yeah. All right. That is the end of that round. We'll be back with our final and deciding grab bag round. It's all coming up right after this.
NR. Academic Challenge is online at news5cleveland.com/academic challenge. Get this season's schedule, see results, and watch episodes of your favorite high school team here and on your favorite streaming device.
Welcome back to the Nordson Academic Challenge. All right, let's recap our scores as we have them right now. In third place, Midview, 340. Second place, Brush, 360. Revere leading the way, 590 points. But hold on, it's time for the grab bag round. All three teams compete in this round. I ask as many questions as time allows. For every correct answer, we award 30 points, but a team will lose 30 points for a wrong answer or no answer. Again, for all three teams, hands on the buzzer, eyes on the monitor when we need it. Set? This is it. Let's do it. What may be the most famous warning in literature, beware the Ides of March, comes from what Shakespeare play? Revere.
Julius Caesar.
That is correct. The camu fruit that grows wild in the Amazon basin is a great source of what vitamin, usually associated with citrus fruits? Brush.
Vitamin C.
That is correct. 1863 issue of Leslie's Illustrated Weekly is still read by historians because it printed a different version of what brief speech by Abraham Lincoln? Revere.
Gettysburg Address.
That is correct. Here, you see what large lake on the New York-Vermont border named for a 16th for Revere?
Champlain.
That is correct. Choice, from which gland of the body is insulin secreted? Pituitary, pancreas, or Revere?
Pituitary.
Pancreas. Pancreas is the answer. British sailors used to get groggy on grog, a drink made from what liquor that, along with Revere?
Rum.
That is correct. A secant of a circle is a line that intersects the circle at how many points? Revere?
2.
That is correct. This is Toba, a language spoken in what large S-initialed Indonesian island separated Revere?
Sumatra.
That is correct. Music lovers often feel a glow when a pianist plays Beethoven's Sonata No. 14, whose familiar name refers to what type of light? Brush.
Moonlight Sonata.
One more time.
Moonlight Sonata.
That is correct. A boy weighing 100 pounds sits 4 feet from the center of a seesaw. How far from the center should a 50-pound child sit? Revere.
8 feet.
8 feet is correct. A 16-year-old rapper named Bree is the protagonist in what 2019 novel by Angie Thomas? Brush.
The Come Up.
On the come up, on the come up. Visual. Let's go back to the monitor. Bryce Canyon, a popular tourist attraction in what western state? Revere.
Utah.
That is correct. Because the race was originally designed to promote a newspaper printed on yellow paper, a yellow jersey is still donned by winners of what famed European bicycle race? Brush.
Tour de France.
That is correct. Half St. Bernard, half Scottish sheepdog. What canine is the main character of Jack London's novel, The Call of the Wild? Answer is Buck. Rather than flags, huge food cauldrons were the military insignia prized by units of what elite J-initial troop of the Ottoman Empire? Midview.
Janissaries.
That is correct. Because he refused to bow to Austrian rule, what Swiss patriot was? That's it. That's the end of our game. That's our final buzzer. What a morning. Let's go to the scores. In third place today, 370 points, it's Grafton Midview. Second place with 420 points, Charles F. Brush. And the winner of today's academic challenge with 800 points, Revere. Congratulations. Woo. All right, 1 week from today, teams from Avon, Beechwood, and Walsh Jesuit will be right here. Thanks for watching this one. I'm Rob Powers. Study hard. We'll see you back here next week.